like a lip full of hair? That sounds awful.
Nice.
Coffee flavor, no.
It's like a you get you're
Yeah.
fine.
Move to flavor country all the time.
Flavor Town.
I don't want to live there. I don't want to be there.
Hey guys,
Interesting.
how's it going? Welcome to the Pixel Nuts Twitch channel. I just thought I would start it during that funny conversation and nobody knew. Hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to our Halloween stream. You can see we've tried to get some filters or some actual costumes. Now you can't tell the difference. When Angie first came on, I thought it was like a Luigi filter, and I was like, wow, that's a really good one.
It's a pretty good filter, yeah. Snapchat, they're getting good.
Yeah,
They are
getting
good.
ridiculously good. Anyways, welcome. We're the Pixel Nuts, and today we're going to be playing our game Rocket Rumble, which is available on Steam in early access right now. It is a party racing brawler game, and we have a very cool Halloween event going on right now where you can get all kinds of special items, and there's missions for you to complete and stuff like that. So if any of you guys want to play with us, you can do so today too, because we're playing on the live branch. And I will just hop into a game here if you guys want to join me, and then we can introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Vince
Where?
Oh, it
In
is
the-
scary.
In the game?
in chat.
Oh, in
He
chat.
said it's so scary.
Hello.
So our question of the day today is going to be, what's your favorite spooky video game that you played, or horror video game, or whatever? And I can start. I've been playing a bunch of them on my like my personal stream this month, because I've been doing like a Halloween thing all month. And I played both of the Outlast games, and now I'm playing Soma, which is by the same people that made Amnesia, if you guys have heard of that game. And I really like that one a lot so far. It's like you play as this guy who wakes up after getting his brain scan. He wakes up like hundreds of years in the future in like an underwater facility that's deep at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. And I'm like really afraid of deep water. I don't know why. I have like a phobia of it. So I've really been... It's been like so scary for me. And it's probably been the one that I enjoyed the most so far out of the ones that I've played.
Yeah, is it good? I haven't played. I mean, I haven't played Outlast either, but
I
Soma seems
really
really cool.
I really like the Outlast games too. Like, they're really scary. But the thing that I like the most about Soma is that it's really scary, but it also has like a lot of interactivity. So you can pick up like all the objects in the environment, and there's a lot of like investigation and going through computer files and stuff that you have to do to kind of uncover the story. And I like that it
that's
has a lot of that, as well as the spooky elements. So it's not just only focused on like, you know, running away from
Jump
things
scares.
all the time. Yeah. You're like
Is it like a
uncovering the
jump scare
story.
kind of game, or is it more just like spooky?
Yeah, no, there's no jump scares really. It's
Oh,
like
yeah?
you're not that I can think of anyway. I mean, there might have been one or two at the very beginning, but it's more like I mean, the situation you're in is really freaky, and there's like monsters and robots that have gone crazy that you have to evade. And usually how it'll work is you'll be like in an area where you have to do some things, like maybe a big boiler room or something, and you have to, you know, activate a couple switches to progress, and there's like a monster searching for you in there with you. So it's more like the Outlast games are like that too. Like, they have a few jump scares, but they're more about like evading a monster that you can't kill and
That's
trying to
cool.
like figure out how to progress past the spot that you're in, which, you know, it works good because jump scares are only scary the first time. So
Yeah.
whereas getting caught by something and trying to sneak by it and stuff is always scary, I think. Yeah.
Totally.
It's definitely
Cool.
worth playing. And it's like, you know, it's like Alien Isolation. It's like a sci-fi horror thing, which I love. So it's been really fun so far.
Who's next,
Anyway,
Ben?
yeah, what about you, Ben?
Howdy. So I I don't really play horror games or scary games these days. When I was a kid, Ocarina of Time was pretty scary to me. Like
Oh my God,
when
yeah.
you were a kid,
The
skeleton, like
zombies?
the
Oh
skeleton.
my God.
Well, the
yeah.
zombies, yeah, the skeletons that come out, like, so actually, the skeletons that come out of the ground at night on Hyrule Field, I would actually, if I had to, like, plan out my childhood runs in order to always avoid the Hyrule Field at night, and if I messed it up, I would delete the save file. Like, that's how
Oh my
terrified
God.
of those things I was.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is amazing.
So, yeah. And yeah, so that's probably the only thing I can think of right now. But yeah, that game scared me a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
It doesn't now as much, but
As much.
it doesn't at all.
It still is
Doesn't-
scary.
doesn't
Like,
at all.
those enemies are scary for sure. The
I
re-deads
do
scare me.
I do have some hesitation, like fighting them now, but like I can do it. But it's
Yeah.
just it's funny that that's stayed with me for like my whole life. So yeah,
That's pretty good.
That's my answer.
It's a good one.
I mean,
What about
I'm the
you,
same.
Angie?
Like, I hadn't played horror games for a long time, but I've actually been enjoying them way more than I was expecting playing them this Halloween.
They're pretty fun, yeah.
They really immerse you. They, like, force immersion on you, basically, because they're scary. But yeah, what about you, Angie? What do you like?
Can't think of too many horror games I've played like too recently, but I really liked Little Nightmares, if that counts.
Yeah,
It's more like
definitely.
a heart-wrenching game than anything, but it's like in that vein.
It's a good one. It's really pretty. I remember playing that game and I'm like, man, this is a good looking game. Which made it scarier, I feel. Just all the nice art and spooky background characters.
I found Limbo kind of scary too. To be honest, I was
Limbo
really
is pretty
stressed
creepy.
playing that.
I would consider Limbo to be a horror game. Like,
Yeah.
I guess it's maybe more of a thriller game, but still, it's definitely in the genre, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We've been
No, I
playing
agree.
that Back for Blood game. It's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, the new Left 4 Dead.
They picked a really good name to, like, you know,
Yes,
channel
they did.
Left 4 Dead, but not be
Mhm.
Left 4 Dead, and
hmm
try and pretend they're their own thing. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, there's a fun like multiplayer fight each other mode where you get to be like the zombies or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Huge.
They really did pick the perfect name.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like, I mean, it's not as perfect as if they had been able to call it Left 4 Dead 3 or something, obviously, but it's pretty damn close, you know?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Left 4 Dead peeps don't want to make games anymore or something.
Well, it's,
I don't know why.
it's most of the same people.
Oh, is it really? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know how many of the same people it is exactly, but it's like the developers that Valve bought to make the Left 4 Dead games back in the day.
Oh, that's cool. What are those guys actually working on? Was that just like a Valve game, or was that like a separate studio that was still making it?
I don't know the whole story, but from what I gathered, it was like Valve bought them after they had already made the game. So, like, it wasn't a Valve game, it was like this studio's game that Valve published, basically.
Oh, that's cool.
And they hired them because they were really good with AI, and they wanted them to work on the AI for some Valve games and stuff, so I don't know the whole
Oh,
story,
that's cool.
but it's definitely like a spiritual successor made by a lot of the same developers.
Oh,
Left
that's
4 Dead,
cool.
so.
Okay, that makes more sense. Cool. That's awesome.
What about you,
It's
Alex?
my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really, really like Alien Isolation. Now, I'm a big fan of Alien in general, so that was like a really awesome take on that. It was nice to get like a really good Alien game.
It's like the only good Alien game.
It is, yeah, it's true. There was a really good side scroller way back when I was a kid, but I don't remember what the hell it was called. It was probably awful, but as a kid, I thought it was pretty awesome. Oh, jeez, homing missile. I like that a lot. I actually really like Inside, which is not really like a horror game, but it's pretty weird and freaky too. I remember my wife tried to play that game because she really liked Limbo, and there's a part in Inside. I don't know if you guys have played it, but you get to this like siren mermaid part where you're like swimming through water, and there's this siren that chases up to you and drags you down to the bottom of the water if you don't do things fast enough. And she just quit the game. She's just like, nope. Too scary. She doesn't like underwater stuff too. Like, she hates like eels, and she had like nightmares about the like eel from Banjo-Kazooie and Mario 64 when she was young. So she's just like, nope, too scary.
That's
That's
funny.
another one, yeah.
And, yeah, I like that a lot. And then she really likes Amnesia as well, but she also doesn't like playing it. She wanted me to play it, but I played it like a total jackass, and she's like, okay, well, we're not playing this anymore. Because she's like, it was like scary, and then she's like, oh, you play it, and she wanted to watch me, but I was just being like a total doofus, like, oh, what's behind this door? Oh, hello, and like just like not being afraid at all. And she's like, oh, don't just go into these things. I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I've never actually played Amnesia, but from what I've heard, Soma is like a lot different. And I guess they made a new Amnesia game called Amnesia Rebirth, and it's a lot more like Soma. So people really
that's
like
cool.
it, I guess.
That's awesome.
I don't know. It's got
Just
that
reading
Alien
the chat.
Isolation feel, like where you're looking through computer logs and turning things on and off, and
That's
I love
cool.
that in Alien Isolation. It's like such a great
I meant
game.
to play Outlast, but never got around to it. That's a Canadian game too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they have CMF. They have the
they're
CMF
out of
logos.
Montreal, I think. Yeah. Everybody's got CMF logos. I'm pretty sure all the Marvel movies have CMF logos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. They have Ontario Creates logos for sure. I know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that where they make Marvel movies?
No, they just get all the tax
No.
credits. They
Cool.
make enough. Most of them are made in Atlanta, but they make enough here to take advantage of the tax credits and stuff. So, because why not?
Yeah, the Outlast games were great.
That's cool.
The only thing I thought that they were missing is more like investigating and interactivity. Basically, like the entire games of both Outlast games are just like linear horror set piece after horror set piece, and there's not a lot of like puzzle solving and stuff. But
Yeah,
I mean
fair.
that's not what they're going for either. Like they want it to be scary all the time. Like you never get a break from it being scary kind of thing. So
But that's hard though. It's hard to make something scary all the time. Sometimes it's better
Yeah.
not to have scary moments and people being like, okay, when's the scary coming? And then that's
you never
scary.
know for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think too that like uncovering the story and investigating and stuff in like Alien Isolation and other games like that helps you get more invested in the world, so it makes it more scary because it's like
That's true.
the world is super believable.
That is true. I also really like Resident Evil games. I haven't played a lot of the newer ones,
Oh, I
but
forgot about Resident
Yeah,
Evil.
I mean,
yeah.
Resident Evil
Resident
1, 2,
Oh,
and
yeah.
3 are like some of my favorite games.
I remember playing the remake of 1 on the GameCube. And I was just
amazing.
like, how did they get it to look this good? And they were all like, it was cool because they were pre-rendered backgrounds, but they were animated this time, so they could do like
Yeah.
shadows and all this stuff. And that game was legitimately scary at that time. Like I was pretty young. Oh, and I gotta do a shout out to my old company, Eternal Darkness, or Silicon Knights with Eternal Darkness. That's a pretty good Halloween game to play.
Yeah, that's one I've never played that I want to play.
Yeah, you should play. It's really well written and just has a bunch of cool ideas and stuff. You play lots of different characters through time, basically, all kind of trying to figure out this one giant story that's happening across like generations. It's pretty cool.
People love it. Like, I
Yeah,
barely ever
I
hear
really
anything
like
bad
it.
about it.
It's really awesome. Yeah.
It's like a cult
Ian,
classic, I would say.
Yeah. So I just
Yeah.
died on my own there. Kind of a long checkpoint actually here.
Oh my god. I'm screwing this.
Oh,
up.
I'm not even playing against you guys. I'm playing against AI. I'm like, wow, you guys are falling off the track a lot. I
We
wasn't
just
paying
finished a
attention.
race if you want to try to get in
Yeah,
a
that's
game with
fun.
us. Angie and I
I
just
was trying to
finished
get in a
race.
game with you guys. For some reason, it put me in the European server. I load up the game.
Weird.
I'm back in North American. I'm back in the West now, but you know.
Oh, nice, good.
Did you guys manage to book Luigi? Luigi ain't hard to get.
We'll do a wardrobe change here for Halloween.
Oh
Hello,
shit!
I'm Devil Alex.
I'll put on a new one
Who is this?
after I pick a
Fluffy.
character.
Who do I want to be?
Everybody loves the melty glasses.
They're so cool.
Glasses, they're good. They're so great. Yeah.
The melty glasses are hilarious.
Yeah, they're so good.
I remember when when they were first in the store and we were playing on stream last week and everybody was wearing them and it just was the most ridiculous looking thing I'd ever seen on the score screen. Like 4 characters lined up all wearing those glasses, just like staring blankly. It was so funny.
It's amazing. Hey, Luigi's the best, okay? People don't give him enough credit.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's the
Luigi is
best.
way better than Mario. Like, he's way more interesting as a character.
Well, yeah, because he has flaws. He's a punching bag. Mario's just perfect, right? He's like the Superman of the Mario universe.
Like, even in the games where, like, in the Mario RPG games where you're still playing as Mario as the main character, he's like a blank slate, and Luigi is like the funny part of those games.
Yeah,
you know, like,
absolutely.
Yeah.
and then the Luigi's Mansion games are just amazing. Like some of the best games in the whole franchise, I think.
The new one's really
Oh,
good.
Luigi's Mansion's so good.
Yeah.
That's a great Halloween game. Not really scary, but just a good Halloween game.
It's like stressful enough. The first time I played Luigi's Mansion, I was stressed, a little
That's
spooked.
true.
I was in grade like
Yeah.
4 or 5. Like,
I mean, the first Luigi's Mansion is pretty spooky too. They were really going for that like Resident Evil parody, basically. Like, you remember the first
Yeah, you're
room you
right.
go in that game, and like all the pictures start shaking on the wall, and there's all these like weird Dutch camera angles, and it's playing all this spooky music, and it's like legitimately pretty scary.
The new one's like that too. Like they try and do lots of little jump scares in the beginning, where everything like jumps out, and Luigi's just terrified of everything.
I just love the way he like hums along with the music and stuff like
Yeah,
that. It's
that's
so
cool
good.
too. Oh,
The reluctant hero. It's great. It's awesome. If you guys haven't played the one for the Switch, I highly recommend it.
Yeah,
It's really good.
I have to borrow it from you because I really want to play it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sherry finished it finally this year.
Oh, nice.
She started playing it last Halloween, but then got distracted with like Pokemon or something. So she had like 1 level to go or something like that. So she just finished it for Halloween.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play it. It's just one of those things where, like, I haven't bought a game for my Switch for quite a while because I have a lot, and they're fucking expensive. Like, I mean, if any game's worth buying, it's Luigi's Mansion, but still, I was waiting for it to
Adds
go on
up.
sale, and it just never did, and, you know. Games are like $100 fucking now somehow. It's just
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, I'm about to start Metroid. I mean, I started it. I played a little bit of the intro, but
Oh, nice.
that one's pretty spooky too. The new one because it has
Yeah.
like
yeah,
it's kind
I
of like
really wanna
fusion,
play
like
it.
it's a continuation of fusion. So it has like
yeah.
the enemies that just like follow you and they'll murder you instantly.
I feel like game companies didn't really think through, at least Nintendo, like, the whole thing with Nintendo is that, like, when the 3DS was out, I own like 45 3DS games because they were like $39.99 and I could easily go to the store and buy 2 and not feel bad about it. And now they don't have like a cheaper system, so all of their games are like $90 to $100, and it's like even buying one of them is just painful. You know, there's I would have so many more Switch games if they were like $49 or something like that. I
For
would
sure.
have so many more.
Mhm. I feel that.
And I mean, I know that some of it's just to do with like the price of games and stuff, but I really think that they should think about it a little bit more, because they basically went from having like I could buy the 3DS and get, you know, like a ton of games for cheaper, to just being, we only have premium full price games now for everybody. And I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just, I think they'd sell a lot more games if they price them a bit more reasonably.
Yeah, for sure. But then PlayStation increased the prices of their games, so now Nintendo games are the cheaper ones again.
Really? They
Are they?
did? What did they increase the price to? Weren't they like
In
already
in,
$100?
Canada, I think they did. Yeah, they're like $89 or something.
Phew. Why? Who wants to play
Our-
PlayStation that bad?
I do.
Oh,
Well, the thing with PlayStation is that at least their games, like, you know, if they put out Horizon 2 or whatever, you could go buy it for $90, or you could wait 3 months and it'll be like 40.
Yeah.
But Nintendo,
and you can wait
No.
3 years and it'll be on PC now. So
Yeah.
yeah, true. But with Nintendo, like, you wait 3 years and it's still full price. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never go on sale.
You might-
They even like announce it when they're like, "Oh, it's a Nintendo sale this time."
I know it's like 20% off. You're like, oh boy, better get in
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, it's like the worst sale you could imagine on Steam or PlayStation or
Mhm.
something, but for Nintendo, it's like huge.
Yeah, they're geniuses. Totally valuing up their.
I mean,
games.
that's why I bought Breath of the Wild because it was on
Yeah.
sale. But it was still like fucking $60 with
Yeah,
tax and
it's
everything,
crazy.
like-
Imagine if Breath of the Wild had come out on any other console, you would be able to pick it up for like $10 now.
I feel
Easily.
like
Yeah, oh, yeah.
25. Like 25 would be reasonable.
You would have been able to pick it up for $25 like a year after it came out. You know, like it's crazy. Like I bought Bloodborne for $13, the
Yeah, it's
definitive
amazing.
edition with all the DLC for my PS4, like 2 years after it came out. You know, just as an example. And I bought
I bought The Witcher for 11.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
an
On the
Ubisoft
computer.
games. Like never pay full price for an Ubisoft game. Like Assassin's Creed will be like $15 before you know it.
Yeah, so fast.
We really have to fix the destructibles in this level. They're hilarious.
Oh, Jesus. Fell right
That's
off
what
the
I mean,
edge
though.
there.
Like, why bother? Why charge so much up front? Like, you'd have so many more people buying the games, I feel, instead of waiting for a sale. And the other thing is, like, then people buy games used, and the developers don't even get any money from that sale.
Mhm.
And they hate
But that's
the...
why they want to do like digital everything now.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But, I mean, they hate the whole used games market, so why don't they just make games a bit cheaper? And if they're going to go down in price like 50% within the first 2 months, like, why are they so expensive to begin with? It just seems kind of crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you could still have those expensive versions with like deluxe editions and blah, 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 and people still
Yeah.
buy that.
Do you guys remember when Microsoft said that you weren't going to be able to like trade games, like
Oh,
lend
yeah.
people games? And then Sony was probably going to do the same thing, but then they flip-flopped like last minute at E3
Yeah, because
and made
everybody
that
was
amazing
so
video
upset.
of exchanging games. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that video is hilarious. They like filmed it backstage. This is how you trade your games on PS4, and they just hand it to the other guy, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Thank you."
Hilarious.
That was so funny. Yeah, I feel like they saw an opportunity and they just fucking took it. They were like, "Okay, everybody hates
Yeah,
this, so
Yeah. Last minute. Brilliant.
I mean, to some extent, I do get it because the used games market is like kind of shitty, really. Like these games come out, people beat them, and within a week they're trading them in, and the store sells it for $5 cheaper, but it's 100% profit for the store.
Mhm.
You know, they sold the game at full price to begin with, and the person traded it in for like maybe $15, and now they're selling it again for like $60 to somebody else.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
I mean, it totally
No.
makes sense why they hate the
Like Vince
used
said.
game stuff so much.
They make most of their like new money in the first like week or so, right? If they know if you're not going to buy it in the first week, you'll just buy it whenever, so they don't really care. They're like, whatever. After that, it's fine. But yeah, games are weird. And then with like the long tail of things, like games are on Steam forever, so eventually, like you have a new indie game that comes out and you put it on sale, and it's like, oh, I could buy this indie game for 20% off at like $19, or I could buy the entire Grand Theft Auto collection for $5.
Yeah, it's
Or, like,
crazy.
like a bunch of these AAA games, like, oh, I could buy 4 Assassin's Creed games for $10, or Rocket Level
And then
for
never
20.
play them.
But it's just then like you have indies competing against like AAA companies. Oh, my game froze. Oh, there it goes.
That is what's so great about PC, though. Like, you can pretty much buy digital games with confidence over, like, on Steam, because you know that they're going to be around, and developers are more likely to update, or the community is more likely to update games to be compatible with, like, newer operating systems and stuff. But, like, you know...
Well, the Switch will 100% take all of your games away someday. Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
Oh, like the digital ones?
Yeah. And so,
yeah.
I mean...
they'll stop supporting that event. Like, not anytime too soon, but it'll come. That day will come.
They've stopped supporting the original Wii, and, like, it'll
Yeah.
come on
See, it's
PlayStation
so sad.
too.
And there's no like backward compatibility or like refunds or anything like that. Like,
well, because all
like
they're doing is selling you a license to play the game for however much time they choose to make it available to you. So, but
yeah,
when you
like
buy
the virtual console, like, once you buy it, you should have it for all the consoles that come out, which would be nice.
Yeah.
Like if I buy Metroid, anytime they put out a Super Metroid on a system, I should just have it. But
yes,
yeah.
it should be like that. I agree with that totally.
That's what Sony's trying to do with their stuff. Like if you have Lost Orbit, if you bought it on PS4, if you have a PS5, you just play it. Like you just go re-download it, and it's, if we want to update it for the PS5, if like specifically to like up the graphics, we can, but nothing's stopping you from still playing it or buying it, which is kind of cool.
It's
I
just
tried
like,
it loads faster too. It's nice.
you know, you buy stuff digitally on PC, that's like all you can do anymore, but at least with PC there aren't console generations to worry about. So like, you know, most games that were available on Steam when it first launched are still playable. Like, your library doesn't go anywhere, but on console it definitely does.
Yeah, and just the way PCs are now, like those games aren't gonna like not be playable anytime soon. From like,
Yeah. And even if they
software.
are, fans will make them playable again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
By releasing patches and stuff. But like, you know, if the Super Nintendo had a download service on it, there's no fucking way you'd have access to games you bought on it by now. But you can still pop your cartridge in that you've had for 30 years and play the game. Like, I don't know.
I noticed a small thing. I don't know if we talked about this before, but I played the game as a pig, and then when I went to the profile menu, it was the corgi again. I don't know if you guys have that too, or if it's just me. But like, it doesn't like, remember your character that you played as.
Yeah, I noticed that isn't working for some reason. It used to work.
It was, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I thought it did.
It definitely used to work, but it doesn't anymore. I don't know
Yeah,
exactly
it's
why.
all good. Pigpen. Get my pig on. I was gonna say, yeah, we have a lot of new assets coming out, customization assets. We made a whole bunch. I made too many. It took a really long time to take pictures of them all for like the icons.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna have to do that color variation stacking stuff at some point too. Find a way to like group items. So like if you have like, you know, mustache A in like 10 different colors, it'd be nice if you just had like a mustache icon and you click it and then it like had all the color choices that you've unlocked or something. Kind of like
Yeah, that'd be
Yoshi's and Mario Kart. Just because I think you're like the inventory is gonna get like really filled up. Which we talked about this a while ago. I mean, like,
Yeah, my inventory is...
Wait,
Yeah,
are
it's
you
probably
talking
these
about
five.
the pop-out menu that I wanted to do?
Yeah, like for organizing objects of the same type.
Yes, 100%. I mean, I'm also working on like favoriting and sorting
Oh yeah.
for those menus like right now. But yeah, I want to do that pop-up thing for the alternate colors for stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we should
On
at
my
least
computer.
have the ability to favorite stuff and have it appear at the top of the list pretty soon.
That's true. That'd be awesome.
Because like I added that to the new UI things, so like I added it to the new UI things so that I can't push them until I have the functionality working. So it's like gonna force me to do it.
Sweet. Cool. by Tuesday, the Hollow track will be ready to test again with all the speed stuff. I already added it, but I'm gonna add the destructibles in today too. So test
Cool.
our new track. Yeah. Oh
Out.
god.
We all
What
died.
happened? Yeah. Murdered.
Oh no.
I like the force stuff you added, Ben. Is really cool. You can do like sideways and stuff. It gave me a lot of fun ideas for like, future levels. Which I mean, we have in this level already with like the conveyor belt, but
We could do such cool things with it, though.
yeah.
I'm excited to do like my level with the rapids and stuff because I can do so much stuff. Like I was thinking of expanding that so that there's like a part where you're going down the rapids and then you turn around and you have to come back up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, just
Yeah,
do some crazy shit.
going up a river.
And it would like literally be like rapids. I can have force volumes that like force you around rocks and stuff like that, you know.
Oh yeah, true. Ah, good shot. Ben, you're killing it today.
You could have like a corkscrew that's like fully like a tube and the force volume like makes you spin around and stuff like that. I don't know. You could do a bunch of crazy shit.
Oh my god, Ben, you destroyed us.
Oh, something that makes you spin out would be a cool item, just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had originally added like a spin out thing so when you got hit by projectiles you would spin out, but it was just like way too lengthy. Like it would just kill you. You know.
I gotcha.
So I would like to do something like that now that we have the health system, because that was a long time ago when you died in one hit. So it was like you couldn't do it.
God, that was so bad.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I can't remember how hard that was.
So hard, yeah.
It was crazy.
Oh shoot, it's time. Birth o'clock. Gonna do a wardrobe change. Which one should I do here? Oh, I'm gonna do my big hat.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. I could hide my face. I feel like the big lady from the tall lady from
Yeah, totally. From
Did she have
Resident
a
Evil
beard?
8.
The tall lady.
Yeah, that's what they call her, right? What they
Well, yeah,
she
I
has-
mean, she's like 8 foot or something like that. It's
yeah,
crazy.
Lady Damascus or
Something like that.
something like that. But yeah, everybody just calls her the tall lady.
That's what she is. I just realized my audio was off for like the last little bit.
Oh, I
Damn
thought
it,
you were
Ben.
just really focused.
No. my mic fell out.
Yeah. I feel like that happens to you a lot.
Yes,
It
Asteroid.
does. It's just taking a while to start. Is anyone
Yeah.
stuck on loading?
I'm on the
Oh, here we
start
go.
line.
Yeah, I was on the start line the whole
I
time.
think it was me. It was taking a little while for me.
Okay, Mark. I was trying to say before my audio came back. Can you get items?
I don't know. Can I? No.
No.
I
Okay.
can't.
There's something with player 4. It's not letting them get items.
Well,
That bug's reappeared.
My animations like are also not working.
Yeah, they're not the same for me.
interesting.
Well, that's a problem.
Everybody's like stuck in boost.
Have they been like adding new audio stuff to this shit?
No, no.
Oh,
I can get items now.
Yeah,
It's
so
just
it's after you
beginning.
die. After you die, you can get items, but it's always this first little bit before can't get items for some reason.
oh my god, this level is so smooth now.
I know, it's ridiculously smooth. We got to get the other levels up to this
Mm-hmm.
this level, whatever.
Plastic
however you
Canyon
say it.
works almost as good, I feel.
Yeah, Costa King is pretty good. Pirate Bay is not great.
Like,
But I'm
my
working on
computer's a good tell because none of them work that good. So,
it. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I mean,
So
on,
I have a pretty old computer too, so
on my computer, this track is significantly smoother than the other two.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like-
me
like-
oh yeah.
still jitters. So
There's a lot more we could do to make it better.
Hmm.
But even still, it's a huge improvement. That one of
What
those
quality
updates we
setting
pushed-
are you on, Angie? You could always lower your quality settings.
yeah, I usually do have
that
them
might-
lower, but they're up
Yeah.
now. So I was taking like screenshots the other day.
Cool.
That might help.
I don't
My
find
game's
it makes that much of a
a lot,
difference
but-
though. all
No,
the
it's
same.
not. It's not huge. We might. I think Daniel's going to do some other stuff too, because there's some stuff that isn't available in those quality settings, because those are like Unity.
Oh,
like-
okay. Default
They're
things.
like Unity settings you can edit and then make different quality like settings and stuff. Oh, that was really good.
Games are
Cool.
like a lot different nowadays than they used to be too. Like you used to be able to crank the graphics down so hard in games. Like
Yeah.
they you used to be able to make such a huge difference in like how the game looked and how it played. But with all these like new render pipelines and stuff, you really just can't do what you used to be able to do anymore. Like you can only go like I've been playing New World with Luna, or with Chris. I call her Luna on my other channel, and it stutters on her computer, and they have all these quality settings, but you turn it down from like the highest it'll go all the way to the lowest it'll go, and you can barely visually detect a difference. Like it looks exactly the same almost, and it doesn't
funny,
really
yeah.
help performance either, unfortunately.
I like it like on some of those games where you can do a lot. Oh, you guys not playing a game?
I
he's
just ended one.
Tinkering.
Oh, did you? Oh, cool. I like there's like the YouTube channels that would play games on like the lowest setting, like where
Yeah.
it was just all blurry and like thing. Yeah, those are pretty fun.
You used to be able to
But
like
yeah, so go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, if you play something like Skyrim, like something from like the PS3 generation, you can crank that shit down until like there's no textures on everything, and like everything is super low poly, and it looks like a PS1 game. It's wild how
Yeah.
far you can
I mean,
go.
that would be
Yeah.
awesome if you could still do that.
We can lower our texture quality. We don't really have a lot of proper like LODs, so we couldn't really make our stuff like low poly.
Hmm.
Unity doesn't have like a really great auto LOD system, so we have to do them all manually.
I
did
don't
buy
know
an
what any of
asset
that
for
means, but I love it.
Oh, there's like in Unreal, you could just basically take your mesh and like say, "Hey, make me like 3 LOD settings," and it will actually like
Yeah.
compress the meshes for you, like remove vertices and like make lower poly versions of them for you. In Unity, you have to do that manually yourself. I did buy an asset to like crunch all the things, but it increases memory quite a bit too, because then you're making like new meshes for everything. But
Hmm.
yeah, so that's
I
this
just
level
want to
has
play.
it.
I just want to play Rocket Rumble 64.
Yeah,
I would love that.
I would love to be able to
But,
crank it down that far. It'd be amazing.
What's it called? Ukulele had that. They had like a N64 setting to make it look like Banjo-Kazooie. Pretty cool.
That could be our new indie cred mode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's
Probably
cool.
better than the old one.
That. Yeah. No, you love the old one, Angie. It was your favorite.
Well,
Yeah,
we could
beautiful.
we could definitely do like texture resolution stuff where we could turn it down to like super low, right?
Yeah, and then change the lighting to be like vertex lighting or something too. I don't even know if they support vertex lighting anymore, but
Well,
It
that's
is vertex lighting.
so the like, current lighting is per pixel, so it
Yeah.
actually like vertex lighting basically applies a color to every vertice and then blends it to the next vertice. So you basically got as much lighting as your polygon as how many polygons you have. So in old games, when like a rock was like 12 polygons, it was like really low res, like just like color gradients across things. But now it would probably look half decent on a lot of like meshes because they're higher detailed. So
yeah, the thing about like a lot of the modern graphical techniques is like a lot of it comes from post-process effects too, so it just like applies stuff on top of the image that already exists. It doesn't actually like apply things to the game itself. It's kind of weird. Like when you do
oh yeah,
bloom or
wild, though, post.
ambient occlusion or depth of field or anything, like any of those kind of post effects, it does it every frame. It like looks at the frame and interpolates all that stuff based on like it has like the depth information for like the 3D depth of the game. It's really crazy.
No, it's crazy. There was a post on our teacher thread today about all the new changes coming to Unity 2022 or whatever it was. I don't remember what the version number was, but they added a lot of really nice things for our pipeline that we're using. And a couple of them, one was you can enable NVIDIA's DLLS or whatever it's called.
Really?
Yeah, which is cool. They have an AMD version of it as well for AMD users, I guess. You can do that. They also have screen space ambient occlusion, not ambient occlusion, screen space real-time GI, like global illumination.
Oh, that's awesome.
Per frame, which is really cool, yeah.
That's like that's ray tracing.
Yeah, so they have ray tracing in this one too, but yeah, you could do like you could do the global one as well. It's really cool. So yeah, we could do like if we do a PS5 version of this game, we could put on all the ray tracing stuff too. All the crazy things. Skeleton time. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, there was a lot of really neat stuff in there.
That's why ray tracing is so fucking good. Like, ray tracing is a huge like upgrade. Basically the whole next like gen, like PS5 and Xbox is all based on just one graphical technology, like for the most part, which is just ray tracing, which can do like lighting, global illumination, light bounces, and all kinds of crazy shit. Shadows. Yeah.
I think a lot of the stuff people are doing, I think like most gamers won't even notice. Like,
I guess that's true.
Like, even when I tell people the difference, be like, okay, so this is what's happening in this frame. And they're like, oh, okay, was that not what was happening before? I'm like, no, it was just like a picture of the reflection. It wasn't like the actual reflection, right? So I think a lot of people don't notice a lot of that kind of stuff, but overall everything just looks nicer, which is still cool.
Yeah, everything looks more realistic and stuff. Like I think people notice it like on the whole, I guess you would say. Yes. Yeah. Like you look at something like you look at something like Cyberpunk and it just looks better than other games because like all of the lighting and stuff is done through ray tracing and it just looks more realistic.
Yeah, I played Ratchet and Clank on PS5, and that one has all the sweet ray tracing stuff in there, and like it's cool. You like see all the reflections and like everything that's happening, and all the like particles and the reflections are there, and I don't know. It's like not really important, but it also just looks really cool.
Yeah, it's just like a nice realism update to the way that we do like lighting and shadows and stuff in game, basically, and reflections and.
So I don't know if you guys know,
is it less
I'm not
resource intensive?
Oh no, it's much more resource intensive. Yeah, no, it's like crazy intensive. Basically, like ray tracing was only done for pre-rendered stuff, like for movies and things, because it was so heavy. Like it used to take. Like I even remember in college when I would render stuff. If you put ray tracing on, you're like, okay, well that's adding an extra 30 minutes a frame of rendering.
Woof.
The fact that they could do it real time is pretty wild, but. Basically, what it does is, like currently, when something's off camera, it doesn't get rendered. So you can't do real reflections because that stuff doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really expensive to like actually figure out where things are and how they get distorted and warped in reflections. So with ray tracing, they can basically store all the data of where everything is and actually like reflect it and then do light bounces and shadows and stuff for it too, which is really cool. But that means it has to store like way more data and calculate all that data like per frame, even though you're not actually seeing it, which is wild. It looks really great on racing games because now the cars look all sexy. But before you would just capture like what we do in this one, we just capture like probes in areas, which is just like a 4-dimensional picture of these areas, and that's that. I guess not 4-dimensional if you have it updating real time, but
yeah, you generate the reflections and stuff based on that. The crazy thing about ray tracing is that it allows you to just like do things that would have been basically impossible. Like In a way, it is more performance. Like, it saves on performance for certain things that you would do. Like, it takes a lot of performance to do it, but if you were trying to do the same things through other means, it would cost way more. Like, it allows you to do things that you wouldn't be able to do. Like, you can calculate
exactly.
like hundreds of light bounces from a single object. Like you can calculate how much, like, a light and how it bounces off every object around it, and how those bounces hit other objects around it, and those bounces hit other objects. Like, it's the amount of stuff that you can do is really wild.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
So it allows you to have like hyper realistic lighting and shading and stuff.
Pretty cool.
You can add it to old games too, and it makes them look like stellar in a lot of cases.
You should look at Minecraft with ray tracing.
Yeah,
it's actually
insane.
It's cool.
Yeah, they have a version of Minecraft. They have a version of Quake 2 with it. But you can actually add it yourself if you have an RTX card. I use Reshade, which is like a post-processing injector that'll work with just about any game. And I have a global illumination ray trace shader that's written by this guy that has like a Patreon, has been working on it. So when I play like old games, whatever I'm playing, really, I'll just attempt to add that shader because you know, it can like do an awful lot to an old game. It's pretty crazy.
That's awesome. It's crazy they could do stuff like that.
And I mean, even recent games like Doom Eternal has ray tracing, but the Doom 2016 doesn't. But you can use Reshade to add it to Doom 2016 if you want, and it looks like phenomenal.
Cool. It is pretty cool seeing like when you go up to like glass and stuff, and you can actually see your dude and all this stuff going on. It's it's minimal, but like as like an artist, you like drool over all this like tiny stuff. And Sherry's like watching me play. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking at like a real reflection." She's like, "Oh, okay, cool, man."
That's great.
Yeah, good stuff.
It helps a lot with like reflections off of things too, like Alex was saying, cars or armor, guns, anything shiny in the scene.
Oh yeah, cars look amazing. What else was I gonna say? But yeah, lots of cool new Unity stuff coming out. Stuff we'll probably not use just because by the time it actually comes out to like the full release, we'll probably be like shipping this bad boy. So,
What a crazy thought.
Shipping this game?
Yeah, the fact that it'll be done eventually.
Yeah, I know. The fact that any game gets finished is incredible to me.
It's wild.
Games are just crazy. Especially like big games. Like once you work in the games industry and you take a look at like a AAA game, like how did you guys organize this? Like,
yeah, it's
because they have like hundreds of people to coordinate.
Thousands sometimes, right? Like an Ubisoft game or like a Rockstar game, it's like thousands of people working on a game. It's crazy. I think Ubisoft Montreal on its own is like 5,000 people or something.
They make more than one like game at a
They
time.
do. But just like, yeah, if you look at the credits at the end of those games, you're just like,
Oh, it's nuts.
how did somebody organize all this? And like outsourcers and outsorcerers. Why aren't they called outsorcerers?
It really should be.
So, yeah.
That's amazing. It should be.
Bunch of sorcery. But yeah, if you take a look at like an open world game, like I don't know, whatever, any Assassin's Creed game, any decent game, like how do you plan all that out, schedule it all out, make sure everybody's working on stuff, and then like
A team of producers.
Yeah, I guess, and like figure out the order things need to be done in, so people aren't like waiting for stuff, that you could actually like design your levels. It's just crazy to me. Like a linear game is one thing because I don't know, you can work on it fairly linearly and it's easier to kind of like visualize in your head. But when you're doing one of these like open-ended games, it's just
it's pretty wild. Well, it's funny, like Ben and I were talking about this the other day, but it's funny when you look at a game like that has like modding support or is like more open, like, you know, one of the Bethesda games, like a Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game, and you know, people find out how much stuff is actually cut from those games. like they do schedule it, but they don't schedule it properly. Like they overscope those games to a ridiculous degree every single time, and it's like only 50% of what they wanted to be in it actually makes it into the game. Like, and
I think that's all games.
Like, the Elder Scrolls games take like 6 to 8 years a piece to make, and they still only get half of what they want in it. Like, it's crazy.
I forgot what the saying is, but like nobody ever ships a game because they're happy with it. Like,
yeah.
Or, you know, like that they got everything done, everything is as it was intended. It's like, no, it comes out because everybody is sick and tired of it, and it's good enough.
You're out of money, you're out of time.
Yeah, you gotta move on to the next project. You can only work on it for so long.
Yeah, it's funny. Loot box. So are the regular loot boxes not available? Or are we only getting Halloween ones for this one? Because I got a regular.
You can get regular ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll show up in missions sometimes, and also when you level up, you'll get regular.
Oh, I guess I didn't actually level up yet. I guess it's just showing me that I will get a loot box.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's every 5 levels, or
cool.
once you have all the fire stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been thinking about things a little bit, and I don't know what you guys think exactly, but I think it would be wise for us, especially during early access, to like do kind of what we're doing with Hollow Knight, where maybe we do like an event every other month, and then on the off months we do something that's kind of like an event, but we just add all the items to like the pool of items available. Because if we do just events and have items that are just being added for events, we're not going to have enough like default items in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like adding the Hollow Knight stuff.
I like just adding default stuff. Because you're right. Yeah, we don't need event stuff like that much.
Like we need some of each, but definitely, you know, I think maybe doing like an event every other month, and then on the month we're not doing an event, we just like add a bunch of new items and whatever to the game, a new character, a new track, or whatever we're doing at the time. So that by the time the game launches, we have like a huge amount of items that you can get, regardless of whether there's an event on at the time or not.
I agree, because I mean, certain like events make sense, like Halloween, like you're making stuff that's like very Halloweenish, or Christmas, right?
Christmas,
but like in between that, like, you know, we can't, like it's not really worth like forcing an event, right?
Yeah,
yeah, there'll be like Valentine's, Easter, maybe summer, and that's pretty much it.
Even those, like, I don't really care if they're not like we could do an event, but the items don't have to be exclusive items.
Yeah, like if we want, even if we want to do like, you know, Valentine's Day items could potentially be like any time items. They would just be like hearts and stuff like that, you know, or even our sweet treat stuff could have been like non-event items, really.
We could do like exclusive colors. Yeah, that's true. We could do like exclusive colors for events. So like for Valentine's Day, all the pink stuff you can only get this week, but it'll be available in like different normal colors or something, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Or just do like a mini event where we only have like a couple things you can unlock or whatever.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. We could even, like, we have, like, say for Valentine's Day, like, we already have some heart glasses and things like that. We could just make, like, shiny versions of those. Like, with some particle effects or, like, a fancy shader and be like, oh, okay, well, these are, you'll get these versions if you play this week, but the rest of them are already, like, available in the game or something, you know?
Yeah. I just think we gotta definitely gotta balance our time to make sure we're making lots of anytime items. Yeah, we've been focusing mostly on events, which I think is fine, but you know, we just gotta also think about it that way too, so that we don't get stuck with a bunch of like items that you can't actually get unless it's an event or whatever. Nice, I got the witch's hat. I fucking love that.
Yeah, it's so good. And we'll have time for events later, like once the game's out, kind of thing.
Yeah. You guys want to try to do like one last 4-player game here or something?
Yeah, let me just quit. Okay, I'm ready.
Yep, let me jump in. I was just looking at bugs.
Hey Vince, if you're still watching, look at my filter. I got the Dracula filter on now too.
Oh shit, amazing. The Count Chocula.
That's the best one.
It
Yeah,
is the
that's-
best one.
That one
yeah.
is fucking amazing.
I love it. And it's extra creepy eyebrows too. It's good. Anybody go see Dune yet?
Yeah.
I want to, but I haven't seen it.
Yet? You said yes, Angie.
Yeah. It was
Yeah, did you like it?
long. It was long.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Long.
I like
Like it was alright. It was long though. And
Yeah.
it felt
I hope it's long.
needed more I wouldn't say too much, but it needed more like worm action in my
A
mind.
little more spice.
A little more spice. I like it.
Could have been a little spicier, you're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, it was alright. It was just long. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. I just think it was so fucking
cool.
long.
I like Villeneuve
Maybe it was
movies,
just-
so I'm good with long for his stuff.
Yeah. Well, I've read the book
could-
too, so I want it to
Oh,
be
yeah.
long. But definitely the first half of the book is like all set up, so if this is only the first half, then it's not going to be very action oriented. But
Oh, they squeezed some action in.
it's good.
Some okay
Some
action.
worms in there.
There's a few worms, but like, you know,
Yeah.
I just wish there was more.
Some worms.
And less like talking about religious bullshit. A lot of religious shit.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like one of my buddies said he was like really into the books, and he wasn't super impressed. But I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I never read the books. I don't know.
Rude.
Well, in the original Dune book, like the first 2/3 of the book, each chapter is based around a character, like one of the main characters, and each chapter is like a setup of that character, and they kind of explain the world as they're going through it. And like it's a
Okay.
lot about like all the different companies that own everything, and all the different guilds and the different religions, and
Yeah, I think they tried to squeeze a lot of that information in, but like maybe did a poor job of doing so. I don't know.
It's hard. It's hard going from book to
it is
to movie
hard.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like unfortunately, a lot of that stuff has to be cut. Like in Lord of the Rings, all that shit got cut out.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Lord
what
of the
I mean?
Rings did such a good job. Like they
Yeah.
cut exactly what they needed
Yeah.
to and left everything important. I
They
feel.
cut
I
all
also
Gandalf's
thought
monologues about history that he made all the way through the
Well, yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah.
We get it.
I
unnecessary.
need it. But no, I love the books, and I was very happy with those movies, which doesn't
Yeah,
happen
same.
a lot.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
best one ever,
was
in
too.
my opinion, is Fight Club. If you guys ever read the book and watched the movie, it's the only time that the movie, in my opinion, is better than the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Marla in the books is just not. And if you guys remember that movie, it's on Amazon, so I just watched it again. But Marla in the books is just not as interesting as she's in the movie. She's just kind of like a helpless girl. She's not like a strong character in the books, and in the movie, she's like awesome. But anyways, I really like Chuck Palahniuk's books too, so it's not like I read a whole bunch of them, and Fight Club was definitely.
Yeah, I
that
didn't
movie.
I didn't even actually know that there was a book. That's crazy.
Yeah, you should read all his books. They're all ridiculously weird and crazy.
I read one of his books, but I can't remember what it's called now. The cover was
Lullaby?
white. No, I don't think so. I feel like I'd know it if I heard it, but I have no idea.
Yeah, fair enough. Lullaby's cool. It's about this lullaby that causes SIDS, basically, and it's these people reading this lullaby to children, and it kills anybody that hears the lullaby being spoken, except for the speaker. And so these people go on an adventure across the country to try and destroy these children's books because these parents are accidentally killing their kids by reading this old, like, witchy lullaby. But then they get really good at reading that lullaby in their head and just murdering people by accident or kind of like semi on purpose. It's really good. Anyways, it's silly premise, but it's pretty awesome.
It sounds crazy.
Cool. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, anyways, guys, I think we're going to call it a day there on the stream. Thanks for coming to watch. And the Halloween event is still on for a little bit. If you guys haven't checked it out yet, definitely take a look. There's lots of cool items that you can get that you won't be able to get once the event is over. So if you're interested in any of the stuff that you saw us wearing today, definitely come and do some Halloween missions in the game and get your items and everything.
Yeah, do it.
And we will be back next week with some new stuff to show off, I believe. So stay tuned for that.
Blah.
I do not say blah, blah, blah.
Go eat some Count Chocula.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Do
Talk
they
to you
even sell-
soon.
do they sell that anymore?
I'm sure they do.
Happy Halloween.